fuck ourselves in. I said that at the farm one day, and they're not familiar with that phrase.
Yeah.
So they genuinely just went, like thinking I'm going to go and try and fuck myself. I was like, no, not literally. It's just an expression.
Who hasn't heard the expression "go fuck yourself"?
Obviously, the farm fam.
Surely that's the sort of thing that comes from a farm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, welcome back to the Two Montys.
Welcome back.
That was all part of the start.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Kyle
I
literally.
always do it to him. I'll look at Lincoln and go, "Are we rolling?" And he's like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Okay, great. Just keep talking.
Kyle
Also,
literally
listeners
said,
will be annoyed at me saying this already, but you just have to remember to put it wherever whoever's talking.
well, Kyle's not going to get a word in too, so.
You just smile away.
Don't worry. When we were talking to Lincoln, he said they're going to have to share, and we were like, "That'll be fine."
So we're joined by two very important people,
Yes.
Jayme and Kyle.
Could you put your phone on fucking silent? Yeah. Jesus Christ.
You fucking change your attitude, cunt.
And apologies
Anyway,
to anybody that listened in the last couple of weeks who had to put up with him absolutely blind and having no recollection of the episode that just dropped today.
I don't know what happened.
I know what happened. You drank all day and then started a fucking podcast. And you went,
okay,
"No, I'm not that drunk, eh?"
I felt fine, but maybe it was the second bottle.
Anyway, sorry.
know.
I've derailed us again.
Anyway, we're here with Jayme and Kyle, who were the highest.
Who are they?
They were the highest bidders at this year's Two Montys Charity Wedding Auction.
Yes.
A whopping $60,000 donated
You wouldn't read about it.
straight to Westpac Rescue Helicopter Service. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Crowd
having us.
goes absolutely mild. No.
Yeah, we're very excited to be here. It's our first podcast.
Is it? Yeah. First wedding too?
First wedding.
That's
Oh,
good.
Everybody have a drink?
This is going very well.
Mm.
No, we did start telling a little bit of the story of how it all came to be, but then we thought, no, we should let you tell. So go for it. How'd you go from the start?
Well, I've been thinking about it. So basically, if I hadn't have started DJing, we wouldn't have probably got this whole wedding. Because about 2.5 years ago, I just started DJing, and one of my friends, she'd asked, "Oh, can you DJ my wedding?" And to be a wedding DJ, you've actually got to be like pretty good. And I just learned how to DJ. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no worries, I'll do it." And Kyle used to be a DJ, and I come home and I'm like, "I just got asked to DJ this wedding. Like, can we do it?" And he's like, "Oh God, like he knows how much."
Have you got all the gear, or you had to get it?
We had half the gear and had to. Yeah. Anyway, and then
You're in charge of the microphone.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then anyway, we come to the wedding, and it wasn't a big wedding. There was probably only 50 or 60 people there. And yeah, Monty was a celebrant, and he had his whip out, and it was the most entertaining ceremony that we'd ever
She's done about
been
me.
to.
Yeah, I don't. Everybody knows I don't have the whip, mate.
Fans, we haven't seen him.
Anyway,
I
That's
didn't
all we've got
I didn't
time
even
for,
know that
folks. We'll
part of
see you
it.
next week.
Whose wedding was it?
Meg and Jake
Don't-
Lawrence.
Who?
Meg and Jake Lawrence
Oh, yeah,
at
sorry.
Pacific Palms.
Yeah.
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 He doesn't know.
No, I
He
do.
doesn't fucking remember.
No, I do.
But for such a small like wedding, it was like so entertaining. You got the whole everyone involved. And yeah, we just always remembered that. And then we got engaged, and we were starting to look at our vendors and book them in. And Kyle's like, "There's only one thing I want in this wedding, and that's to have the whip cracking celebrant."
That whip cracking guy.
I love
So-
that. We're going to clip that. I'm going to put it on my website. Thank you.
Perfect. And then, yeah, we'd booked in Ravella, the date, looking at photographers, looking at everything. And then, yeah, I was just Friday afternoon, and I was looking on Instagram.
Now,
Found
this is the Friday of the auction.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
2:30 or 3.
And we had a conversation that morning where normally the King's the one shitting it, and I'm like, "No, we'll be right." Whereas it was me ringing him, being like,
Yeah, so he rang
We're
me,
fucked.
and I go, and like, and I'm sure I've said this before, but like, I hate phone calls, and he knows. And this was like the third day in a row he'd called me, and I was like, "The fuck? Like, what could this bloke possibly have to say that he hasn't told me in the last 2 fucking days?" I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "I'm shitting about tonight, huh?" And I went, what are you ringing me to tell me that for? Like, I'm already shitting. I don't need you to just go, oh, me too. This it's fucking a whole waste of time. So we were shitting, basically.
And I think because we've done it enough years now, we kind of know, like, when we've got, like, the super keen ones. And so we had, as you know, there was the other couple there on the night.
And a couple of, like, iffy online bidders.
You know, but we need 2 very keen ones in person. That's how it always is a success. So when you rang, I was like, holy shit.
Well, no. I'd entered in my details online and I reckon I'd pressed enter and within 0.2 seconds, my phone starts ringing. Surely not.
Yeah,
like I literally
we weren't worried. Everything was fine. We weren't worried at all. Like, it was fine.
Oh God.
That's funny.
So
me, play it cool. Narrator. He was not playing it cool. Bring.
Literally. And so I'm pretty sure I called Kyle first and I'm like, fuck. This is like just too good to be true because I'd already booked in Ravella. I was already messaging Hungry Hearts.
Yep.
Kyle had actually got my engagement ring made at Whitaker's. And I was like, this is like perfect. And it would be half the price of what it would be to do a normal wedding anyway.
Yeah.
And then Kyle's like, oh yeah, whatever. Go do whatever you want. Like I do with everything. And then I think, I don't know if I must have called Mum first.
Yeah, you did. Because when we spoke on the phone and when we were talking about like how it goes
you had
down
a budget.
Yeah.
What the budget is. And you're like,
we'll get to that. That's the funny part. And then I called Mum and Mum was having a bad day at work that day. And you know when you're younger and you've got to ask your mum for a sleepover and you're like, got to wait till they're in a good mood to ask him. It was a bit like that this day. She called her and she was so stressed with work and I was like, oh, Mum, there's an auction happening tonight for this wedding and like it's got everything that I want in it plus more. Like do you reckon you could?
We're going to need the money now.
Today.
Not next September.
Yeah.
Do you just have 60 grand I could just borrow, please, today? And she works in real estate and that and like auctions and that. And she's like, oh, I don't know. It just seems a bit scammy to me. Like you need to find out a few more details.
We do look like 2 untrustworthy fucks,
valid.
don't we?
It's valid. And this is just a complete side note, but I just bought that new Akubra. So I was like, I'm getting the biggest hat I can get, and I'm getting it in black. I've had it 3 weeks, and 8 people have said, never trust a man in a black hat.
Yeah.
And I went, fair enough. That's fair. So that's probably a fair assessment.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Sounds like a massive scam.
And I, too, have a big black Akubra. Yeah.
Scammers. Absolute scammers.
The 2 Montys with 2 black Akubras.
Well, don't worry. Now that I've heard we need to be in black, it'll be getting a run.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a spare whip you can borrow, too.
I've got a black whip. It's only about that long though. Anyway, moving on.
And so she's like, well, you need to find out more details. Like, you know, do we
From
need
these
to
scamming pricks.
You normally need to have financial approval before you go into an auction. You know, they need to have like a couple of things.
That's funny. We thought for the first couple of years, we need to get a contract, like a bidding contract up. And we did. It wasn't where the fucking paper was written on, really.
Yeah, well, that's what Mum's like. Yeah, you need to have a couple of things in place before you can just go to an auction. Like, you can't just rock up to an auction.
Yeah, sure you can.
Yeah, well, we found out this night you could.
You might not be able to for a $2.5 million property. For a pair of fucking dickheads like us, no dramas.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
we're changing the way auctions are done in the country. Very casual.
No, it was good. And then
we'll have some regulator fucking ringing us up.
And then she's like, we just need to find out some more info. And then I got on to Monty, called and
well, you didn't get on to him. You didn't have a chance.
And he's called and come back with all the details, like how much of a deposit we need to pay actually on the day, and then we could pay the rest of the money and whatnot. And then I called Mum back and I was like, oh, well, we only need to pay this much up front and then the rest in a couple of weeks. And then I was like, so how much money would you be able to give us tonight?
Yeah.
Or how much you're willing to put in? And she's like, okay, I'll give you $35,000. And that's all we'll give you.
Yeah.
Which is fucking epic.
Oh,
That's
yeah, like more
Yeah,
than-
it's very generous.
Especially
Yeah.
after a shit day at work, and then you're fucking ringing up, not even in a good mood, and she. I just need a
35.
cheeky 35.
Anyway,
thanks, Mum.
wait till she gets to the second phone call.
Well, we were there for that.
Yeah.
And then called Kyle back, and I was so excited. It's probably about 3:30 at this point. I'm like, fuck yeah, we can go to this auction tonight.
Carl's thinking she's unhinged. Like,
So
one
much
fucking phone call.
information just dumped on me. I'm like,
Were
what
you at
are you
work too?
talking about? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like 5 phone calls in the space of 20 minutes. I'm like, what's actually going on? Here?
Wait,
I was like,
I'm
just
assuming
wait
he
till I
just-
get home.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
Then
assuming
we'll
you
talk
get to a
about
point
it.
too, you just go, fuck, whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop
Like,
calling me.
got home. She's like, right, I get in the shower. We've got to go to this thing right now. I'm like, fuck. What do we even wear? I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. And we got there and
Yeah, Monty's like, oh, I'm like, what do we wear tonight? And Monty's like, oh, I'll be in my cowboy boots. I'm like, great, that's going to
Yeah,
really
yeah.
help us out.
So, yeah.
And then so that was for the 35.
Yeah.
And then obviously the auction went a little bit higher than 35.
Well,
So
we then had a pep talk in the car on the way, and Kyle.
You hadn't put it. When did you start? When did you put your first bid in?
No, well, that's where it gets good.
Yeah, right.
So
Because I mean, because it's all a bit of a blur for us because we're doing this.
Yeah.
But I knew you guys were there, and I was thinking, aren't they the couple? They haven't done anything yet.
So we didn't tell anyone that we'd only had that $35,000
Yeah.
budget, but we had a pep talk on the way in, and Kyle's like, Jayme, you're not allowed to have the baton. You're not allowed to put your hand up whenever it goes.
Put your
because
hands in your pockets and fucking leave them there.
He's like, you're not allowed to do any of the bidding because I know as soon as you get excited, it's just going to go free for all, and it's not our money that you're bidding with. So like, you cannot do this. And yeah,
which is exactly what happened.
total opposite. So then it gets going, and well, Mum's like, look, you're going to get sucked in as soon as that auctioneer starts. She's like, she's like, the adrenaline, you're going to get sucked in. You need to have me on the phone. Like, you're not to go over this budget. And then
And then, wait,
Nothing.
bad line, Mum.
Nothing and no
We're
one was going to stop you, were they?
Yeah,
And
what's that? 60? Yeah, no, gotta go.
and had you have let Kyle do the bidding, you'd be in the same position now as your cousin, with up for $100,000 worth of work.
we allowed to say that?
It would have just.
Oh,
It's
I
not
think-
our business.
It was like boom, 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 past 35. I'm like,
hang on.
Yeah.
So we started, the auctioneer started, and I kid you not, it was like blah, 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 and $40,000. And I just looked at Kyle and my heart just dropped. I'm like, oh no, we're done, and we didn't even get a bet in. Like, and then I don't know what happened next. It kind of went 45, and then I think it went 47.
No, I think we were at 42, which is when Kate jumped in and said, oh, no, so I jumped in and said, we're gunning for 50 because it's 50 years of the helicopter. We'd love to get 50. Let's go. And then she jumped in and said, well, if it gets to 50, I'll throw the other 5 in. Or was that at 50? And then
that was when we got.
No, it was before we went out for the phone call. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
did,
yeah, yeah.
they both threw in.
I think it went to 40, and then your dad was like, God, and then it got to whatever that was.
I reckon it was at about 42, and Kate threw a hand up, and then Dill threw his hand up.
Yeah.
And so we're like, you technically, and then we had to like talk through the specifics of, it's not deal or no deal. You're not going to get a case with 10 grand in it.
Yeah,
It's
that was
like-
it, because it had to get to 50 to then
Yeah,
get to
for
the,
them to
to
throw
the
the
extra
thing
10.
in.
Yeah, but then it must have got to 40.
10,000, just giving you 10. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
they're not
yeah,
just
yeah.
going to give you $10,000.
Yeah, no, it's for the wedding.
Yeah.
But and then I think it must have been 45, and Dad was just like, yeah, just go the 45, and I just sort of looked at Cole, and I was like, all right, 45, and then Kate and Dylan put the 10 grand in, and then I was like, this is getting so overwhelming. We need to go outside and actually
That's what I
talk
said. It
to
was
Mum,
like, this is like the block. She's got to go and speak to someone outside. She's got
go
his
speak
cams
to
on
the
the blower.
financial advisor.
Yeah.
Can we have another 15 grand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so I think it must have been then at 50.
And then did Kate talk to your mum as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we went outside, and then they're like, oh, if we get it to 60, you will then throw in that 10 grand to go back towards the wedding, which we were going to have to because it was for 80 people, and we're
Yeah, you want more.
Yeah, we had 100, probably getting up to 110. And then Mum was like, well, Dad was like, well, you've come this far, you may as well keep going. And Dad could really see the value in what we were getting, whereas I think Mum was still already so stressed from work, and there was a lot going on that day for her.
Dad's got the right idea. That's how you do it. We've come this far.
Well, literally. And then, the 10 grand, and then we come back and it was going 1 for 1. It was us and the other couple next to us.
They were keen.
Yeah, and I think they must have had a budget of 50 grand because I think they went 50, we went 51, they went 52, and the partner, the guy was voting, like going for ones, and she just kept hitting him like, no, we can't.
It was like a mirror. It was like, you guys. Kyle's like, fucking stop.
No,
we're done.
It's not our money.
We were definitely not done.
I couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
And then Mum's like, well, I'm not paying $53,000 for you to then have to put another 10 grand in anyway. She's like, you may as well go to 60 and we'll get the 10 grand back. And that's when I was like, oh, well, may as well go 60.
Well, and that's what like our previous winners, and there was, they didn't have, there was no extra money getting tipped in, but it's always, that's the killer blow, is like when you do that big jump and the other people they're hanging in. And it's at every auction, everywhere,
Because they got 30 seconds to justify another $1,000. Whereas when you jump that much.
Yeah, when you're creeping up by 500s or 1,000s, they're still like, oh, it's just another 500. But then when you go, boom, and then so the Russ and Kate, it was 50, and they just went 55, and the other party was just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was like the fuck off.
It's just like the killer blow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with you guys. Like 60, bang, it's over.
Yeah, literally. And I think
Stop it. They're already dead.
Yeah, Dad was like, oh, well, like, we're already going to put in this much, you may as well, like, yeah. But it was Dad that kind of got Mum over the line, which was good. So
weird, because they're normally the other way around.
Yeah, right.
The Mum's like, oh, yeah, we'll just do that. And then Craig's like, oh, do we need to do that?
But then as it's played out, so you're a few months down the line now, and you've gone through all the process of, working out the details with all the different vendors, but you're saying it's not been stressful because it's fucking easy.
Oh, this has honestly been the best way to plan a wedding. Like, even my mum will justify it because she's like, there's no stress. Everyone's locked in. You just go to them with your designs or whatever you sort of want.
Do,
and everyone's been so easy.
So is your mum, having said that about your mum's like fully on board now? She's like...
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't think we're scammers?
No, not now. Well, we've got to see what the day comes off.
The wedding hasn't happened yet. Yeah, you turn up on the day. There's just dust on the floor. There's no one there. There's been no one there for months.
We should send
it's an abandoned building.
Get your mum's email or a number or something, and we'll send her a message the day of the wedding. And say, just basically a full scam message, like as if the whole thing was a ruse.
No.
We've kidnapped Jayme and held her ransom.
No. There's been a lot.
So you give me that $60,000.
Last minute hiccup with the venue. If you could just transfer us through another 15, so we could go ahead today, that'd be great. Otherwise, we're going to have to call the whole thing off.
Oh, she'd probably fall for it too.
We'll just have to judge what a day at work's been like beforehand. If she's had a good day, it's probably a good chance.
Also, we should probably say, what a legend, just in case she's listening.
Well,
what a legend.
I'm sure she will.
Throwing the money down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky, but like we were just, if we were going to have to put up 60 grand that day, we don't just have a casual 60 grand.
No, nobody does.
Yeah, we're lucky, like Kyle's parents and putting in as well as us. Like we've all contributed. So, but we're very fortunate that.
I mean, and that's what we were saying too on the night. Like, obviously, coming up with the cash in a shorter time span is a bit of an issue. But like, because obviously you'll get married in September next year. Originally, the plan. So you've got like a much longer timeline to come up with the dough.
Yeah, 18 months instead of 5.
Yeah.
Which also means you spend more.
Which is what I was about to say. You also probably save 50.
Yeah, because you just keep adding things in. Like, as soon as the pressure's
I'm already
off,
adding things in.
There's just random shit showing up at our door at least once a week. Like, what's this? She's like, I needed that for something. And this...
I love this.
Oh, mate,
It's,
I spent $400 on confetti the other day.
Yes.
So unnecessary.
No,
But you know
confetti's
what
super necessary.
Yeah, I know.
Although,
$400
and
worth,
normally
too.
we have confetti in the package. We have it in the past, but
You better put
our
into the next
confetti-
one.
Our confetti supply was overseas, so that was an inclusion.
What sort of confetti did you get?
that wasn't in it
The
this
like
year?
the popper ones.
So, sorry, just to be clear, $400 worth
That's
of,
a lot of poppers.
of confetti cannons.
Like
Jesus
a massive
Christ.
box. I'm like, what are
That's fucking
they?
wild.
I'm
I
like,
love
oh,
I
God.
fucking love it.
Ravel's going to love cleaning this shit up.
How many was in there?
It's a lot. What do you think?
Like,
Like,
fuck,
confetti's
12 or
nothing.
16.
But
or
anyway,
something.
it's biodegradable, so they just got to hose it down and it all like.
I'm
No,
just
they'll
thinking,
blow it up. They
I-
won't hose it because what happens is it goes like real sticky.
Oh,
I mean, it goes eventually, but like particularly if you're and it's that the one you've got is the one to get, in my opinion, is the one to get in terms of like literal bang for your buck. But it looks incredible. Like it's
But
the
I'm
best
just
one.
imagining a box has turned up, but I'm like, it's like everybody walks in, they get a champagne in one hand and a 12
Confetti cannons in the other.
Yeah, there's one for 110 guests, one each.
Do not let it off
Oh,
before.
they all let them off at once. The fucking windows blow out of Ravella.
Jamie's like, that was fine.
yeah.
Fucking
That's it.
brilliant.
So
And
worth
that's
it.
it, folks. We're done. The day's done. But fucking worth it.
Also, that's like, and so that's one thing. What else have you been buying? What?
There's this really cool thing, but I don't want to give it away.
Okay,
Oh.
cool.
But so unnecessary because we've got so many cool things already
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
need to get this other thing.
I know what it is.
No, hang on. Don't say it.
No, I'm not going to say it, but I reckon I know what it is.
Yeah, I think you do too.
She only said it the other day, and it was somewhat related to you too.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. We'll have to talk about that. I'm excited. I love surprises.
Yeah.
And I love shit that's not like, that's unnecessary. Like if you know, and obviously weddings are expensive.
Like a
and-
box of confetti cannons.
Yeah,
Like, normally
but-
there's two, one either side.
But
That's it.
weddings are expensive. People can't always like include like just weird shit, like unnecessary shit.
But I
when
don't-
when I see, but when I see it,
sorry,
I'm
man,
like,
couldn't afford you at the wedding because we had all this confetti turn up.
We've already had to cut so many people.
You can watch it from the nursing home.
yeah. Wait, the people we've had to cut that couldn't make it, we're going to write your name on the side of the confetti cannons. That's thinking of you. Boom. yeah.
Oh, God. But you know how they say, like, I know I've been watching too much wedding TikTok, but when you get married, there's like these rose-colored glasses on money, and money sort of just goes out the window, and you're like, yeah, I need to spend $400 on confetti. Like, you can justify spending
So
that
good.
much money on
Do you know?
dumb shit.
I'm only thinking about the confetti. Where in Ravella are you going to have the ceremony? Do you know?
Yeah, outside in the...
In the atrium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. I did one recently there where they didn't have the cannons, but they just had that same confetti, handfuls of it, and it like they did it in the big hall, and it was just fucking everywhere. And I just watched like Angus and the team, like one of them had a blower, was trying to blow it up, and they were trying to sweep it in the thing, and it's back because it's so light, it's back in the air, and I was just like, what a nightmare.
Oh.
Yeah, good. So we talked about it briefly in the car before, but because we should say we've also been out to the helicopter this morning.
Yeah.
Did a bit of a tour out there so you guys could see.
And you guys slipped into the cockpit a lot easier than we did.
Tam from the helicopter said, look how easily she got in. I'm like, she's a third my size. Of course she did.
A quarter, I'd say.
I was trying to run the numbers, and I thought I was doing all right at a third. But yeah, so that, I mean, I guess, I don't know. It was good for you guys to see kind of where the money goes. And
Yeah, well, like we were saying, like, when do you ever get the opportunity to actually make a donation that's going to actually have an impact on
yeah, because it's
the charity
it's
that
like
you're giving
And you
to?
see at the other
It's like a
end.
double-edged
Yeah,
sword
yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah.
You get the wedding for probably less than you would have paid, and that money goes to do something kind of great.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And like they were actually telling us, how much the helicopter itself is,
Well, that's-
how much it is per hour to even have it up in the air.
When they were showing you, I said to him, like, it's good for these guys to see where the money's going. And I'm like, and 60 grand is not inconsiderate. I'm not, but like,
But
for
it's
the cost of the
nothing. It's
helicopter, I'm
nothing
like,
for
when
that
our mate
thing.
opened the door, I go, there's 60 grand gone.
Yeah.
That's it's gone.
Oh, well, they were saying $5,000 an hour to have it up
to
in the
fly
air.
it,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
what's
That's
that?
it. Well,
12 hours it was.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
$20 million aircraft.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
it's bonkers.
And even, done, Sam from Silent Shout's calling.
I'll put him on.
He's saying no.
Tell
to
him.
confetti.
Hey, mate. Good. You're here with Monty.
You're on the
and
podcast, mate.
Jayme and Kyle on the podcast.
What timing?
Yeah. Hit us. What do you got?
Is this
live.
about they're not allowed to have confetti at Ravella?
Well, you can't do anything in there, no.
No.
Mate, let it rip. Go nuts.
Does he need to ring you back?
About this weekend, but that's completely boring, so never mind.
All right. Well, I'll ring you back in intermission.
Wonderful.
All right. Oh, you're coming to Queensland.
Yes.
Oh, good one. Righto. Yes, I will ring
This
you.
is a conversation you can have elsewhere.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk.
Wrap
The
it up.
King's got a very
Right,
short
again,
fuse.
I'm doing it again. Let's go.
See you, bro.
Actually, this is a funny story relating back to Sam. Pretty much the main reason, well, we got engaged and I think we'd booked Ravella within like 5 days, right?
Yeah.
Because the number one thing that I wanted at my wedding was to have Sam DJ the
Yeah,
wedding.
yeah.
So that's why we had to, because he's so bloody busy and
Yeah.
booked 24/7. I'm like, well, the number one thing is that we have Sam DJ our wedding and yeah.
There you go.
Guaranteed. Locked it in. What were we?
I don't know.
Chopper. Oh,
I've just been out at
15.
Chopper's
That's what I was going to say. So, she said 1,500 missions last year or something.
1,580, I thought she said.
Yeah, it was.
But that's what's that? 5 a day.
I don't know.
Does that make? Yeah,
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
5 a day at $5,000 an hour. Holy
Which
shit.
is why you see the helicopter fundraising as much as they can.
Yeah.
We've probably only supplied 1 day's worth of
Well,
funding,
but
but
that's 60 grand.
more
they
than-
didn't- that's 60 grand they didn't have before.
Yeah.
So it's incredible
You just need
stuff.
364 other people to be raising money, and
Yeah, that's right.
That's
It's
a year for them. So
Yeah. No, that's amazing. It's amazing. It's obviously, it's big money to run that, but 60,000 is a not inconsiderable sum to just
No.
go, here you go.
yeah, but like even like after having the tour today, it's like, oh god, like you could justify wanting to donate more because you realise how little,
for
like,
sure.
yeah,
And
how
just imagine if your mum was in a good mood. Fuck me.
Yeah.
we might have to get married again next year.
You might have had a sticker of your faces back on the back of the thing there.
Yeah,
We're still trying to get ours on.
Yeah, I noticed it wasn't on there yet.
No, don't worry, we did too.
Yeah.
We
Very
mentioned it
upset
to
about
Tam.
that. But then we did realise we didn't actually pay any of the money. You did. So it should be your sticker on it.
But it wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you two. So
Eh.
yeah, because how much money have you raised all together now with the 6?
280?
70, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount of money.
Which sounds a lot when you add it up like that, doesn't it? Like
It's over a long time, mate. Don't get excited. Yeah, that is the essence of our relationship.
But we did.
Oh, we did pretty good there, didn't we? Fucking settle down.
But we're over halfway to 500,000. So we're past a quarter
Just
of a
a
million.
bit of quick maths from a mate there.
We're
No, don't do any more.
no, but no, we'll get there.
Well, hopefully. Depends.
We want to raise $1 million before we get cancelled.
Before we what?
Get cancelled,
Oh, cancelled.
which is
I
literally.
thought you
any
said before
minute.
we get cancer. I was like, fuck, keep it light, mate. Jesus Christ.
Well, if we do get cancer, maybe some of the money we've raised can come back to help us.
Fucking hell.
Good karma might come
Yeah.
back around.
No, well, that's what
Indian,
we
Indian
always.
giving.
That's what we always. I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
Oh, what Mexican giving? What do you call it?
But that's what we said on the night. Like we always say, it's like, people go, oh, you're doing this great thing. And we're like, it's because we're pieces of shit 364 other days of the year.
just trying to level it
Yeah,
out.
just
a bit.
trying to level it out.
Totally.
We'd have
And
to do three. We'd have to do 3 charity weddings a year to fucking
Honestly,
do that.
we have that conversation after each year's auction. We're like,
Oh, I always the thing.
the balance has been, like,
I always say
it's set.
we've gotten away with it again.
Yeah.
one more year we've gotten away with it because this year
They
like I
fell
said,
for our scam again.
Yeah. Oh, all that website you saw with all the other weddings, all that never happened. Never happened. All paid actors.
This is a deep, deep fake.
Yeah, yeah,
The whole thing. Yeah.
yeah.
But soon find out on the 25th of
you'll
July.
disappear after this. You'll be gone, but no one will ever see you again.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's what we always say. We've gotten away with it one more time.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go again
Yeah.
because I think we were fully prepared to never do it again because we were both
It was,
like, it's
it
going
was
to
the
fail.
most stressful year.
It's going to
organising
fail.
it.
It's going to fail.
Yeah,
we fucking won't do it again next year. It's
But
gonna
I'm glad
fail.
I didn't know about it until that day because if I had known about it like a week earlier, I just would have
You'd been
got
flipping out.
so caught up in it and I would have just
Well,
Yeah.
we were just talking to the guys at the helicopter this morning about it because they've been really, really helpful in the lead up and getting the word out there and all that stuff.
Which is part of the battle because, like, yes, we've got a good thing going, but people need to know about it.
But, well, and having said that,
advertising and
Well, even
having said that, we do that all the time, and you guys would probably, out of the 6 years we've done it, you would be probably the third couple who heard about it that day and turned up. Like, we have months of like, everybody, have you heard about this? Trying to get it into the paper and onto the news and in the fucking websites.
no one
and
gives
then
a fuck about
and
it.
someone's mum goes, "Oh, I saw this thing on the Today Show this morning." Not the Today Show because those pricks won't have us on. Yeah, and so it's this catch-22 where we try and like get all this Instagram stuff and advertising, and the helicopter had us in Newcastle Live heaps this year, and then you guys are like, "Oh yeah, we just stumbled on it on Instagram at 3:30 on the day of and just turned up." We're like, Cool, that's really great.
I'll just go fuck myself.
No, but honestly,
but the funny thing is, like I was on Ravella's emailing list, and like 2 days before they'd sent out a big email saying
which I knew they'd done.
Yeah, I'd already followed a lot of the vendors that had it on their Instagrams as well, but just never actually clicked or took much notice of it. Like, it's just funny how
that's interesting. We need to take that into consideration. Go, how can we fix that next time?
Yeah.
Maybe offer 3 boxes of confetti cannons.
Yes.
Honestly, a whole carton is wild.
there will be none left over.
I can't fucking wait to see
Like
a
the
box
truck,
full.
the truck that delivered must have had explosive. Like,
He's got one of those yellow magnets on the back. Like, has to warn people, don't run into me. The car might
Old mate's
explode.
on danger pay for carting dangerous goods.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
In a
lot.
hazmat suit,
Yeah,
drop
normally-
it to the door.
Normally we're delivering them. Normally we're
In a
delivering
bomb
them
suit.
2 at a time.
Yeah,
These fucking maniacs have got a carton.
yeah. The bomb disposal robot.
Yeah, the robots. The robots brought it in from the. Just drops it out on a little arm.
Oh,
Oh
good.
God, I was so tempted when it got here. I sent a video to everyone. I'm like, God, I'm so tempted to just pop one of these right now, but I've spent too much money to just
1000%.
let it.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Also, given that where the venue is down the hill from the cop shop, we got
Yeah,
The
SWAT
bomb
team.
squad will literally be coming in.
cannons
You'll just
going
hear
off.
this.
They're going to think it's a massacre.
As a team comes down the hill to find out what the gunshots were.
Oh,
All right, Lincoln's looking at us saying it's time.
have to test you. How well have you listened to the podcast?
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Are we wrapping it
What,
up?
this,
Yeah, we are.
this podcast or another one?
No, this one.
Oh, yeah, you get to
Look at
say
him. He's ready.
Yeah.
Righto. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey!
Boom. Beautiful.